everybody, it's Kelly. I'm in Black Thread Studio. I was going to try to be in Black Thread Studio living room today to talk to you and film this for you, just for a change of scenery to kind of delineate between when I'm doing my regular YouTube from Black Thread Studio and when I want to do the Flosstube. So I thought I'd sit someplace different, but my son Sam is here for the weekend and he's kind of overtaken that space, which I'll gladly let him for the weekend, and then he's got to get his stuff out of there. So anyway, this is my second Flosstube, and cross stitch isn't new to me, but it has come back into my life, so I'm not sure exactly. I'm not gonna say I don't know what I'm doing. I do, but I don't. The sharing of it is it's just so deep down in me that I have said this in a couple posts. I am on Instagram and Facebook as Black Thread Studio, and cross stitch to me feels like coming home. I started cross stitching right after I got married. I was young, 21 years old. I had been sewing and doing other things before that, and I cross stitched. My gram was cross stitching as well, and kind of taught me and got me into it. Started cross stitching things when my daughter Paige was little, and just cross stitched. Like when she napped, I cross stitched. When I got home from work, I cross stitched. And then jump ahead like 12 years later, after many moves, I kind of just figured I needed to do some quilting. I talk about that too. I know why I started quilting. It was when my gram got sick and died, and I figured that somebody in the family had to carry on the tradition of Christmas stockings and doing quilts or Afghans, blankets. I didn't want to crochet, so I picked up quilting and I started making Christmas stockings and quilts, and the cross stitch went by the wayside. I might have talked about this in the first one. And then I kind of got the hankering to do it again, maybe about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago now. I did a little cross stitch for Jim for Valentine's Day, and then I saw a couple that I wanted to do for my granddaughter Hadley, and here and there, and then I started seeing Flosstube, and I was like, I'm not sure I get it. Well, I didn't get it because I wasn't cross stitch. My mind wasn't there. I wasn't in that mode. And the more I watched it and started digging through my cross stitch and getting it out, I think part of me was like, okay, you don't need to put anything more on your plate. You don't need to spend any more money on floss and things. So I think I fought it for a good month. And then slow but sure, just watching you floss tubers, and there's a lot of people out there that I really like watching now, but I have to say that Brenda and Laura, of course, the serial starter, and also Vonna from the Twisted Stitcher, and Jean Farish. Those, you guys have really, Vonna does such a beautiful job, and I do know how to sew, but I watch her and learn her perfection and attention to detail as I'm going forward and want to finish some things. And then Jean Farish, oh my, I'll talk about the block of the month. No, it's a mystery. Stitch along, I don't know what I'm talking about. See, I switched back over to quilting, block of the month. And then, well, Brenda and Laura, they make everybody want to have friends that they can hang around with and cross stitch and have that much fun with. So everyone really started to get me just wanting to stitch. So I started watching all these, picking everybody's brains, seeing what hoops they were using. So I have slowly started getting back into it, and it has taken over my brain. I seriously, is it an addiction, or is it just a love and a passion? Let's talk about that for a minute. I go to bed thinking about samplers. I wake up thinking about samplers. I think about samplers during the day while I'm at work. I Google different things. I look up at different things, and can't wait to come home and start stitching. So that's why I'm here, because I just want to I guess, share with all you the way that you share. And I'm so grateful for all the great people that are out there sharing their creativity, because I think stitchers, creative people bond like no other. We get each other. We know each other's hearts. Even though our personalities might be so different, there's a commonality there that just, you know, strings us all together. So I'm going to try to keep this a little bit shorter because I do have trouble uploading and downloading and storage and all that with my phone. So I might have to end up doing it in 2 parts because I do get a little chatty. But, oh, and I want to say, I do know a couple of you, Heather and Bernadine, have let me know that they're cross-stitching. So I think that's so exciting. And Heather, are you doing Roxy? Yes, I think so. So you guys, let's keep in touch, watching each other's progress. Bernadine has posted some really cute things on Instagram. Heather has too. If you can't find them, I don't know if you guys want me to say your names or not, so I won't at this time. But if you go to Black Thread Studio Peeps, hashtag Black Thread Studio Peeps, you can see a little bit of each other's work and then start following each other from that if you want. Okay, should we look at some cross stitching? Okay, you do have to have some disposable income. Done, said. In my younger years, I used to get myself into trouble spending too much. In my older years, hopefully I've learned a lesson, and I have a few priorities, like, you know, maybe making my car payment first. But so I'm doing what I can as I go along. I already have this huge wish list. Oh, I wanted to grab a book to show you. I'll do that in the next one. I'm going to try to do a Flosstube the 3rd Saturday of every month. Am I off? Yeah, I'm off. Probably because January was longer and February was shorter. Anyway, I'm going to do a Flosstube once a month, and then I'll show a couple other things that I didn't grab. But just to start really short with a quick, because I'm just so excited to be cross-stitching again. It's like coming home. After I put it away and, you know, moved around and got rid of a lot of my stuff, I dug through and found what I still had, and I've just been building back up from there. So anyway, what do I want to show you first? I do have a couple things that I totally finished, just in a real quick, short amount of time. I kind of want hog wild. I was like, I want to start something big. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it big. But I also knew that my eyes are older. My eyes are older, that I would have to get a new light, and that I was a little afraid to, sorry, it's really dry in here, excuse me. That if I started right away on linen, I might get discouraged. So let me see what I have here that I can show you. So I thought I'll just pull out an old pattern, and I'll just work on some of the 8 account that I have and try to slowly get back into it. I don't hate Ada, but for me, oh yeah, well, I love it because I can see, but I don't like how stiff it is. But I am working through it. I don't think, I'm trying to love and appreciate everything, should I say that? So anyway, I'll show you what I did. I had, okay, everybody has these really, really cute, gorgeous project bags. And of course you see them, especially if you're someone like me that likes embellishment, ribbons, charms, beads, all that stuff. You think, I need that, I need that, I need that. So then I'm thinking, okay, I want those project bags, and I do see a need for them. They aren't just cute. There is a purpose for them. But if I'm going to spend my money, because I can make project bags, I'm not going to make them. I'm going to spend that money on charts and floss and hoops and lighting and all that, because then I'll just make my own project bags. Well, then if I have a minute, do I want to make project bags, or do I want to cross stitch? So there's the dilemma. So what I did, I know I've seen some of these. I saw them after I ordered them, but so I went on Amazon, and these bags, of course, because you can see through them, they come in a package like this. I got two, I think I counted there's 24 or 25 in a pack, and they weren't that much. I want to say on like $20 for that many or whatever. They do come other colors with different colored zippers. I always go towards black. I always have to have black in my life. I wear a lot of black. Every room, I think, is supposed to have a little black in it. I love black, hence Black Thread Studio, but I decided to do all black. So, and then I have this really cute twine that I've talked about, this baker's twine that I've talked about. Again, if I have time, I'm going to stitch, although I do want cute little things on my bag. So for right now, I just threw a charm on each bag that kind of goes along with the project that I'm working on. And I lost my train of thought. You know, someday I'll have different project bags and, you know, different little doodads, but this is working for me right now. I'm very, very happy with it, the way it's organized. And I have everything in this Goodwill basket, and I can just carry it room to room if I need to, and kind of look at what I want to do. So anyway, the first thing that I did is I went through all my old patterns. Now I got them out of order for you. I think I turned the whole basket around. So the first thing I did was go and find the old patterns that I did have left. And these aren't in any order, but I think just because we moved around a lot, you know, I have them back to back in here just to keep them safe. It was easier to move. I like it like this, but it would be fun to put some labels on them now that I'm going to be building up my collection, right? And then these are all, and some of these are new because I've downloaded new. You know, just the paper downloads that I did or freebies in here. I know you're not supposed to show charts. I didn't show anything too close up, did I? Well, and some of them are freebies. So anyway, I dug those out and I found, I thought, well, I want to start on something that's gonna, you know, be a project, something that I can work on and be proud of and really want to dig into. So I've had this Cricut collection. What is that called? A Walk in the Woods. I have had this one forever. And when I tell you guys forever, I don't mind telling you, I turned 60 in November. I started cross stitching when I was probably 20. And then, like, let's say 20 to 30, maybe, is when I was my heaviest into it. And so probably all of these are closer to those years, like that span. So what would that be? 80s, early 90s. So I don't know how old that one is, but anyway. And I also didn't have, I think I slipped a picture in here, a basket drawer full of just tangled a mess floss from all those moves that we did, where you just throw stuff and you go, I don't know what to do with that, I'll just throw it in here. So I dug through, I have started organizing that floss, and then I just had some 28 count even weave. I've been watching you girls. I know I need to hold something up behind this, so I don't know if that will work. I forgot to grab something anywhere. Anyway, this one, so this is the first thing I started on this 28 count. It's very, very thin. I think it's that DMC Charles Craft that you get, you know, like at Hobby Lobby, I think. But you know what? I like the look of it. The trouble that I'm finding that I remember is if your tension isn't really good, you pull the threads and then you get spaces. So I'm kind of liking this because it's learning me to regulate my tension and kind of work on my stitches again. You know, getting everything smooth. So this is a good practice piece for me to start, to get back into it. But I needed some immediate gratification, right? So I think the next thing I did, I can tell I'm going to go over, right? The next thing I did was I found, well, not really. The next thing I did was think, okay, I'm going to be into this full blown. So I want to sign up for a stitch along. That was the next thing I did. So I signed up for, I kept thinking I'm not going to have a lot of projects, a lot of whips. I'm not going to have a lot of things on the go. And it's only been like a month and a half since I started. I already have, I think I counted 15. So anyway, I signed up for Though He Seemeth Sleeping, Lucy Beam. And here's the other thing. I love everything everybody does. How do you choose what you want to work on? And I don't like just one style. I like so many different things. I know I'm truly drawn to samplers and more folk art. But how do you pick? I'm not kidding you. You know that saying, my day job is getting in the way of my stitching. It's true. I'm still working full time, and Mondays and Wednesdays are like 12-hour days for me. I work for an optometric office. So I'm really lucky because we get a long hour lunch and I get to stitch on my break, and they know I Google and look up samplers between patients and nobody yells at me for it. So I am blessed that way. So I won't complain too much yet. But anyway, I joined Lucy Beam on this, and I punched out my own little thread thing because I didn't because you know, I had to pick and choose where I was going to spend money, and I wanted stuff also done right away. So I got all my colors on that. Everything I did right now is just DMC, and you're probably going to want to see how far I got, right? That's how far I got. And I did start a book. That's what I was going to grab for you earlier, where I wrote down. I did order this linen on Etsy, and I started this book where I could write down the day I started. It's not the book of days. I saw that one after. It's a different one. It's a little bit more like just documenting, you know, what you're working on. But then I saw the book of days, and I kind of want that one. But anyway, so I started that one. So this one's in my queue. And what I did, just to make these bags a little bit more fun, is did I already say this? I put a little charm for each one to kind of try to match what was in the bag. You know, I'll always be able to find something religious to work on, so I could either just leave that and keep this one, or I thought if there was some way to attach that charm that was on that bag, on that project when I'm done with it, that might be a good idea. Okay, should I just show you? Okay, so then I have, since we moved around a lot, I don't have a lot of friends, but I have, you know, like 2 very best friends, and then, you know, 3 or 4 that trickle into my handful of, you know, my best friends. So Rox, my best friend since we were 12, and then Elaine, who I've been, when Doug and I were first married, we met when we were like 21 and have stayed friends ever since. And Rox did cross stitch. Elaine was more of a cross stitcher. So I called Elaine and I said, do you want to cross stitch with me? And she kind of said no. She's like, I don't think I'll be able to see. She really just didn't have time or care to do it. So I called Rox. I'm like, will you do this with me. Just cross stitch with me again. And I sent her this. So, okay, I already have Lucy Beam on the go. I have this. Are you guys counting with me? And then I said, I love this so much. And I do make her a lot of stuff. And she's like, I love that. And I said, you know what? I can't cross stitch for you. I don't have time to do yours and mine. So you're going to have to do it with me. And she is. So Rox is picking back up cross stitching. And we're doing, I wish I had the colored to show you, but I printed these off in black and white. AC Bluebird, Quaker Sampler, Sassafras samplers from Kim at Sassy Jack's. So we went and got all the floss, keeping it easy, doing VMC, and she was afraid she wouldn't be able to see to, and loves the look of linen, but we didn't want to, I didn't want her to get discouraged. So my fabric just came, and she was waiting for me so we could start together. So we both started last night, and in my little scroll of pictures at the end, I'll put her little leaf that she started. Hers is a lighter green. I changed the colors just slightly, but we both started last night. And so that we wouldn't get discouraged and we could work on it together, we're doing the same Ada. Again, I wrote down where it came from, but I like that kind of tea stained. I'm waiting for it to loosen up a little bit. It's stiffer than I like, but again, I just opened mine up yesterday. So that's in the works with Rox. So I'm excited about that. Then, before I knew that Rox was going to stitch with me, I'm looking for the one that I really want to show you. You know what? I'm going to wait on that one. I'll tell you about it, but I'm going to wait to show you till next time. I should wait on this one too, because the other one I started was the Fruit of Plenty with Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery. I just bit off way more than I could chew, especially working full time. That one. And I got my fabric, and I think I got it too small, my linen. So I just kind of sewed that edge on. I think I just start too close to the edge. Those are my colors. I'm behind because a lot of people already have February finished. But you don't know how many times I've had to, I'm not going to say unpick. I'm not going to say whatever. I know it's wrong. When I have to take it out, I rip it out. Okay, maybe not rip it, but I unpick it hard. I have to rip that out. So I've had to do that several times. And maybe it comes from quilting so much too and just having to rip it out. But it's going to be so pretty though. This is going to hang in my bedroom. For those of you who saw my little bedroom tour, that's going to hang on the wall when I'm done with it. Might not be till next year. On the wall, but there's nothing. I used to have a really cute black bench there, and now it's out in my garden. And we put the exercise bike there, which is ugly in the bedroom. But if I have to look at it every morning, I thought I would use it. I did get it on it this morning for 10 minutes, but I haven't been on it for months. So, but anyway, this is going to hang on that wall. And then I'll just show you what I got finished, and then I'll save everything else for the rest. What I was going to tell you is that with Jean Farish, March 1st, which is Monday, I'm so excited. She announced the Roxy Stitch Along, and I saw it, and so my best friend Rox, her name is Rochelle, but I have called her Rox since the time we met. I mean, for me to call her Rochelle would be so foreign to me, although it's a beautiful name. To me, she's just Rox. Even her mailman started calling her Rox when they lived at her old house. Anyway, I decided that I was going to do that, the Roxy Stitch Along, and I'm making that for her. So that starts March 1st. I have the fabric. I have everything ready. I'm just waiting for Jean Farish to release that so I can start working on that, and that will be another little thing that I'll be working on. So see, I have a lot started that we can watch for. So what really got me excited as well was signing up for all these really big projects. I thought, you know, I need immediate gratification, so that I need to do something small and get it done so I know that I can do this and that I'll like it. Well, I know that's not right. I knew I would like it. I just needed to finish something so I could feel the accomplishment and look at it and be happy and think, okay, when I get that big project done, that's how satisfying it's going to be. So I did show a couple of these on my regular YouTube, which I really didn't know the difference. I think that was kind of why Flosstube confused me, because I didn't know if it was just cross stitch, but I kind of think it is. I don't know. But although other people talk about knitting and other things, so I don't know. I am calling this Flosstube. This is where I'm going to dedicate to what I'm doing with my cross stitch. So anyway, I went to Goodwill and got the butter dish, and I made this cute little guy. And I do have, it's an old pattern, but I was going to show that to you. I'm almost done with it, and I have gifted it to Bernadine, a special girl. But this is the pattern right there, if you can see that. If you're interested, the bunny was right down there. But surprisingly, my daughter, who really never really likes what I do, I don't mean that in a mean way, we just have different, it's funny because we have the same taste, but not, it's different. She likes very simple, clean, and I like a lot more stuff. And she told me she wanted, so for instance, she said, Mom, I really like that rabbit. I want it the same colors, but can you do it on black? And I don't want all that stuff around it. Which surprised me anyway that she wanted it. So when I get done working on this, I have gifted that pattern to Bernadine. And I will tell you that I have so many old patterns and hair charts that I know I won't do. Starting next month, I'm actually going to do a few giveaways on some of these old that I have. Some of them are Cricut collection. You know, I know it's kind of cool to hang on to those, but I would rather somebody who is going to make it or really enjoy it have it, rather than me hanging on to something that I know I'm not going to make. So I will be doing that. Anyway, I did it with the walnut shells. I've kind of done my signature as a yo-yo. It really can be any size. That's how I learned to sew, my grandma teaching me how to stitch yo-yos. So in honor of her, Helen, I put a yo-yo on everything I make. So moving on to that, the next one that I did was Laurie from Not Forgotten Farm. I had seen this one a few times on Instagram, and I thought, oh man, I have to do that one. I want to do it for myself. But I was so excited that Rox is going to cross stitch with me again. I wanted her to get that gratification and that feel of having a finished cross stitch again. So I actually made this one for her. Oh, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that I had my earphone in that whole time. Did you guys see it? Yeah, I had that in the whole time, and that's what just fell out. Okay, so anyway, I did the kind words for her, and this isn't, it is an old antique button. I wish it kind of looked older than what it does. I could have distressed it a little bit more, but, and then I just sewed that on, and then there's my yo-yo. And this one, lavender and the walnut. And then I actually just took some essential oils. I was kind of afraid to put it right on the fabric. I didn't know if it would stain it. So I kind of took a little dropper and I ran all the way around the rope, the edging, with a couple different essential oils. Oh man, it smells so good. Anyway, I did that one. Again, that was Not Forgotten Farms, Laurie. I love everything she does. Same with Lucy Beam. I like too many things. I love everything. Oh man, I mean, the GGR samplers, Blackbird Designs, Modern Folk, they're, the Scarlet House, I mean, Carriage Sap, okay. I went on to 123 Stitch and I started a wish list. I have like 75 things on my wish list on that website. That's all. Okay, then Liz Matthews, how cute is she? Had this, the Hope, for signing up for her newsletter, which I did. And I will tell you this, I feel this way anyway, for anybody that's been watching my sewing. Mistakes to me are either reasons for embellishment or they're just part of it. They're part of the process. If they bother you, fine, but I am not one that's gonna rip out a lot of stuff or so. I think I got this from Jean Farish too, so I'm not one. I might point out my mistakes if because I used to teach, just showing that point out the mistake, showing that it's not a big deal. It's not going to make a difference if you love it, whatever. I'm not having anything judged. I'm not doing it. Even if it's a gift, who cares? Cover it up. So I will not be pointing out in my cross stitch and saying I have a lot of mistakes there. Nobody's going to notice if you point out, unless it's the designer. I'm going to show you this one I did from the Hope from Liz Matthews. The designer might notice, but is she really going to care? Is she going to think that this doesn't look as beautiful as what, I mean, unless it's, I don't know. That's how I feel about it. So Jean Farish said that she really doesn't like when people are on there cutting down their work, to be more positive. And I was like, yeah, right on. That is exactly the truth. So if you see mistakes, which are you? No, you're not going to be you're not going to be looking for my mistakes, so I'm not pointing them out to you, okay? Anyway, this also was on my YouTube channel. I really wanted to do a prayer flag, and I had this variegated floss, silk floss from the Thread Gatherer, and I really actually they sent it to me as a little freebie gift. And I thought it was kind of bright, but then I thought, now this is one of my favorites. I can't wait to do a whole red sampler. Oh, next time, yeah. Is that Laura and Brenda's Law? Because I saw somebody else talking about it. Mama loves you, GB. Yeah, I need to start a red sampler. I've got Rox on board too. She's going to do a red sampler. And I'm going to use this one. It's called In the Reds by the Thread Gatherer Silk Floss. Oh, it's my favorite now. I love it. Anyway, that was my prayer flag that I did on a YouTube. We made that. So those three are my finishes. What do you guys call them? Is FFO fully finished? Is it FFO? Because you own quilting, it's a UFO. Unfinished. I don't know. Anyway, I have these three finished already, so there is hope for me to do these that I have in all these bags. So anyway, I ordered well, my tin stand from Hobby Lobby that I saw from Laurie at Not Forgotten Farm. That's one of my favorite things I'm using right now. So if you go to Laurie, I think it was one of her like last two or three YouTubes, she showed that tin stand. And then my bags. And then I ordered from the Thread Gatherer a couple more needle minders because my favorite one is one I have from her, and then some beeswax. So I'm gonna gift Rox. I'm not telling her. I'm looking for the bag that I did that on. I'm gonna gift her by sending her one of these bags. And look at this charm I found. Just says best friends. I might put a few more charms on there to jazz it up for her and a few more ribbons. But I'm going to send her one of these bags with a charm, a needle minder, some needles, and beeswax. So that'll be fun to get that out. Anyway, I'm just so happy to be here and talk to you guys about cross stitch. It makes my heart pitter patter. It gets me all excited, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about. If I say that to other people, they don't get it. They just don't get it, but we get it. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you for letting me show you all my good things, because part of the excitement of doing it is sharing it, kind of like show and tell. And that was fun. So I'll be watching you guys, and thank you for all your inspiration, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye.